So my son thinks this door looks like a jail cell door, but I just found a bunch of doors here. I don't know where they're from, what sets they came out of, but let's switch it out and see if it looks a little better. Hey friends, Sarah here, and welcome back to my Lego mock of the Leaky Cauldron. This is my custom Lego mock that I had mentioned that I was going to share with all of you in my last city update, and here it is. So for those of you who don't know and maybe are new to this video, this channel, I added Diagon Alley to my Lego city in the last update, and I wanted to come up with something to disguise Diagon Alley from the rest of the non-magical world. So this is what we came up with. We came up with our own custom Diagon Alley fitted next to an Asian themed restaurant, and I couldn't be more pleased with it. I actually am pretty happy with the way it turned out, and we'll take a tour around it here on my turning table and share with you guys some of the features. So as you can see, I actually sized it to go along with the rest of the Diagon Alley sets, and it does have that open back. I did want to use the Leaky Cauldron as the base for the set because in the movies, Hagrid takes Harry through the Leaky Cauldron in order to get to the wall to go into Diagon Alley. So obviously that is a perfect place to start. And if any of you have the Harry Potter Advent Calendar from this past year, the 2021 Advent Calendar, you will get this awesome Leaky Cauldron printed sign in it, and I am so thrilled to have found that. I totally forgot about it, and I had moved on to using a cauldron as sort of the sign, the entrance sign area, just to give it a little something that was reminiscent of, you know, the Leaky Cauldron. But then I found the sign in a bag, so now we are going to use both. So how did I come up with the facade? Well, I guess it's not quite a facade because it's actually 8 studs wide, but I had a ton of this particular dark tan color from our pab wall at the Lego store, along with the masonry bricks, and I had just taken apart my arcade mock with all of these extra black pieces. So I figured I would use as much as what I already had available to come up with a design that looked kind of old and, you know, not very attention grabbing. I did use up all of my black windows, top and bottom, some great panel pieces because I didn't have a lot of black bricks, and then some modified 1x4 bricks with the little lines in them. I'm not sure what those are generally used for, but in this case they look pretty darn good. And then I used a lot of these rail pieces here up along the top and tried to get in a few snot bricks to add some additional detail with the tiles. We've got some modified bricks, we've got an arch, we're using some grates here as a window ledge. And I tried to carry the theme of panels and windows and arches up and down to both levels. On the top you'll see an owl, of course, just to give a little nod to Hedwig. And then we have the rooftop, which does have that sort of tilted chimney look, and another little spot with windows. You know, maybe there is a secret little hideout in there, who knows? But I also wanted to theme it, pair it with another theme that was bright and colorful. At first, when I built this, I had the Leaky Cauldron running the full length, and it looked pretty awesome. I was starting to run out of bricks though to make it symmetrical in places, which was a little bit frustrating. And then when I added it to the city, I realized that it looked a bit out of place because most modulars don't run the entire width of the 32x32 base plate that they're put on. So I went back to the drawing board, I started over, really helped with the use of parts and pieces because then I was able to make it much more symmetrical without having to kind of, you know, just kind of pick other parts to fill in. So I like that a whole lot better, and I like the smaller look of it as well. I've actually had both these dragon windows and these Asian themed windows here for quite some time in my collection. I'm guessing they were from my son's Ninjago years, and I've been waiting to do some sort of Asian themed mock with them. And I just felt like for this one I wanted something colorful. I saw the windows and I was like, now's the time, it's now or never, right? So just kind of started to work away at the colors with it. I didn't want, the building to be all red, so I just wanted highlights of the red and gold. So we continued with as many of the black pieces as I had taken off of my arcade mock there. And then we added in the other color here, which I have quite a bit of, which is the light blue gray in both the masonry and just the regular brick. And I added these panels here to match some of the other Diagon Alley buildings, and just to give it a little bit of detail. You can see the new door I just put on. I have no idea what set that comes from, but my son was definitely not pleased with the jail cell door that was here. It's just one of these. And I was kind of thinking, in cities, big cities, you do see like grates on doors. So I was going for that look, because otherwise, without this one, there was really nothing other than a clear door to put there. And I wanted something with a little detail. What I did use for this set is actually, I popped open the Neon Lunar New Year set from 2021. As you can see from the fireworks up here, I thought those would be great because it is hiding the Weasley's joke shop, and I thought that would be absolutely perfect to have the fireworks sort of in the background. But then I was also able to gather some details like these hanging decorative things, the signs, and some of the additional gold pieces along with the red fence pieces there. So I really, really like that idea. I bought a ton of these off of our pab wall, so here was a good chance to pull out a bunch of them. As you can see, I added a few under here with a tile on top just to give it a bit of a ledge, and that seemed to turn out really well, though I did start to run out of black windows when it came up to the top here. I'd love to change those out for another style of window, but it is what it is at the moment, and it's not too out of place. The roof is a lot of fun. I always wanted to build a roof like this, and it is very reminiscent to the one in the Neon set, though I had to scale it to fit the size that I have here. So that's where the creativity and fun comes into mocks, is you can kind of take pieces from other sets, you can take building techniques and styles and then apply them to your own creations, and learn along the way as well, because usually I do a flatter style roof like this one here, but this gives it a nice contrast, especially with the half round pieces and then just the angled look to it. So I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. And then we actually did some interior detail, since we can see the open back. I kind of went back and forth on the open back look, but again, I was modeling it after Diagon Alley and it has an open back, so I went with it. My son thinks that I'm exposing the magical world to the muggles, but then I suggested to him that maybe a half muggle, half wizard or witch owns the Asian themed restaurant, so it's okay. So let's spin it around and check out the inside. All right, so let's dive inside, starting with the most important part, which of course is the brick wall that leads into Diagon Alley. And you can see Hagrid at the door back there. So when we actually place this into the city, you can open up the door in the front and you can look down Diagon Alley, which of course my son doesn't think is quite right, but for video purposes, I think it is perfect. So I didn't do a whole lot of interior detail in here. You can see a table, a pumpkin, a plate, a couple of green bottles, and a pail on the floor. I'm not sure why I put that there. However, I took more items from the advent calendar set. When I found the sign, I figured I might as well use up some of the things that were just kind of sitting around in the bag. So that makes for a little bit of interior detail. I might work on the wall a little bit more. I do think I need a masonry brick maybe right in here. So we'll get on that. And then if you go up top, you'll see I used a few more items from the advent calendar up here. There isn't a whole lot of purpose to this room other than a place to rest after you've eaten some food at the Leaky Cauldron, I guess. We do have his birthday cake tile up here, which is a fantastic tile. the white box that it came in. I modified the fireplace, and you know, of course, he's got a letter. I took some other bits and pieces. I believe that chair maybe even came from the friend's apartment sets. I'm not sure about that, but I thought he needed a chair to sit in while he ate his cake. So that is it, a very simple little space. Maybe we'll fill it out a little bit more, maybe not. And then moving over to the Asian themed restaurant, I actually rated the Pigsy noodle tank set that we have for some of the features in here and some of the items from the Neon set, including this other decorative piece here and then this broom over here. But the rest of these things came from the Neon set. I do have a stove and a sink and drawers that I put together, along with a lot of snot bricks to hold things, because of course you need to wash your fish with your carrots and then cook some eggs over there. So we have a little counter on this side with more goodies, bottles, a fire extinguisher just in case, a chef's hat, a table with tea, and then the Pigsy sign over there on the wall. So it's jam-packed with a lot of fun details, and having the open back style, which is not, you know, it's not practical for everywhere in your city, but in this case, for this area in the city, it's fine, and it allows you to get in and see the details and put the details in a little bit easier, I might add. So if we go up, nothing too exciting up here, maybe a little apartment as well, place to rest. There is a chair. I tried to keep with the red theme and white. Generally, I know firecrackers don't go through someone's living room, but I thought it was a neat use of parts and a little bit of a decoration, so I added it in. We have another one of the brooms from the Neon set in there, and of course, some more tea and goodies. So that is it for the back of the set. I did use snot bricks here to attach the firecracker pieces, which is a fun, colorful addition, I think, to the back of the set and to the front of it as well. And that's about it. You can see that it will fit nicely into the city. And if I want to pull Diagon Alley out and put them all in a line at some other time, I can think that this will actually blend in very nicely with that, and I can add it to the mix. So it serves a couple purposes. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take it over to the city and we're gonna add it in place. And of course we built it on a Mills plate so we can walk it over nice and easily without any threat of dropping it, breaking it one-handed. Can even jump up and down a little bit with it. I can wave it around. So I do enjoy those Mills plates. And we're gonna put it down in the city, but I think I need to move the canal first, so hold on. All right, with the canal out of the way, we can slide it into place here and see how it looks backing up Diagon Alley. So here's Diagon Alley running up the back. You can see the path with everyone on it. We've got all the shops in line here. I did not put an extra path in between just for the space that I have in the city. So we're gonna keep it that crowded little path. But to be honest, when we went to Universal Studios, to the Wizarding World, it felt like walking up that path. Everyone was shoulder to shoulder for as far as you could see. So I think that's right on par. So let's push this back and let's take a look. See, make sure we get everything in. All right, we snug it in between Cafe Corner and the Grand Emporium, sorry, and the corner garage, and there it is. I think it looks fantastic. Got a lot of fun things in the air with the hot air balloon and the Grand Emporium sign, and now we have the firecrackers in the back. The colors blend in really nicely between the buildings. Let's put the canal back in place here. The little mermaid hanging out. There we go. All right, so the real test is, can we see down Diagon Alley? So I actually think I'm gonna move the canal one more time. And let's get Hagrid out of the way here. We'll put him over next to the Year of the Ox guy. And as you can see, you can look right out through the crack in the wall down Diagon Alley. It's not in great focus. But you can see that everyone is down there walking. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so that's perfect. All right, guys, so that's it. That is Diagon Alley disguised by a custom Leaky Cauldron mock next to a custom Asian-themed restaurant mock. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment. Make sure to subscribe, like, and we'll see you in the next video.